Hello, hello, hello. Good afternoon, and welcome to Growth Habits with Ngozi. I am your personal guide on the journey of growth. How are we doing today? How is everything with us? I trust we're having an awesome day. Yeah, please just bear with my voice today. Anyhow, my voice comes out, just take it like that for today. um, so Take it like that for today. Okay. Um, so take it like that for today. Okay. I just had to be sure that I'm being heard. So yesterday I went for a concert. Yeah. I went to Maverick City concert yesterday, and I seem to have lost my voice a little bit. My voice is a little hoarse from all the singing and shouting and rejoicing yesterday. So just bear with me if my voice is sounding just a little bit wonky today. So today is what is known as Giving Tuesday. Um, I know that it's not quite well known in Nigeria yet, but in just about every part of the world, we have what is called Giving Tuesday. So um, I decided to participate in Giving Tuesday today. So I'm sure as you join the live, you will see something that shows that I guess it's a link that would show that shows you should donate. And this year I decided to use the organization. I wanted to say company. Now the organization Club 1040, because I've known them for a while, and I support what they do. I've been affiliated with them for a while, so I know that they are not they're not scam or anything. So Club 1040 is an organization that is basically run by Matt Beamer and his wife. They train leaders and they establish training centers and churches in the least rich nations with a primary focus in the Middle East and North Africa. That is where they're primarily focused right now. Honestly, the work they're doing in the Middle East is something else. It is something to behold. So please go ahead and donate to this cause. They mobilize missionaries, they recruit, they equip, they mobilize missionaries to the field in these places, and they inspire the church to fulfill the Great Commission in this generation. So that is Club 1040. I believe that as you join, you will see the link to donate. So please go ahead and donate. Giving Tuesday is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. That is set aside to raise money for good causes. So please, once you join and you see that link, please click on it and donate to Club 1040. All right. It's based in the US here at the club, but I met let's say the founders, Matt Beamer and his wife, when I was attending Rhema Bible College. They are such a blessing to the body. What they do, yeah, it's something else. It's something else what they do. They go into these little known, or will I say less visible areas. They have so many places that they are working right now. They're in Egypt. They're in the Middle East, basically. They go in there, they arrange programs, they do outreaches, so many things that they do. So please do contribute. Do contribute to this fundraising. Okay, that is one. The second thing I want to quickly get out of the way is to ask whether you have registered for the Emergent Leadership Bootcamp. If you have not, please, please, please run run and register. The link should be showing up as you join this live. The link is supposed to show as you connect to the live. Please, please, please join that boot camp. It is packed. It is packed. I can tell you that. It is packed. 3 days of knowledge, 3 days of learning, 3 days. So, and it's free for this particular cohort. It's free. So the next one will not be free. So please come in now. Tell your friends, tell your family, just come in. Let's learn together for 3 days from the 12th to the 14th of December. It's already here. Barely, I think, 9 days away or so. So please, please, please join that. Register. And remember that when you fill the Google form, because it's a Google form that you will see, when you fill that form, at the end, when you submit, there will be a link to join a WhatsApp group. Please join that group. It's in that group you will get any information that you will need for this boot camp. So ensure that you join that group. Bear with me with my voice. I can even hear the slight wonk in my voice. Excuse me. But I had a good time yesterday. I enjoyed myself. I just enjoyed myself. That's the only way to put it. That concert was it was really something else. I always wondered, I've never gone for a live concert before, especially a Christian concert. And I always wondered, how would they do it? Are they just going to come out and sing and, maybe have one pastor just come and say something and that is it? But really, the experience of this Maverick City concert, yes, of course, it was a concert. We knew that they were coming to sing, but they interspersed the whole concert from beginning to end with, it's not even preaching, it's not even sermons per se, but throughout, you heard the gospel. From the beginning to the end, you heard the gospel. I truly enjoyed myself. It was such an experience. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to the business of the day. Let's get straight to the business of the day. So this is session 87 of Growth Habits, and we are continuing our discussion on growth change management essentials. We started this a couple of sessions ago just to talk about change and how to manage change in your life, in your organization, wherever. So we talked about the first session. We talked about just introducing what is change management, because truly, as we're preparing for the next year, we need to be ready to change. We need to be ready to manage the changes that will be part of that year. We need to be ready to even manage the ones that we did not plan. But there will be some changes you planned for. There will be some changes that are part of your program for next year. You need to be ready for it. You need to know how to manage that change. So we started with an introduction. Please, if you join me, let me know. You're watching live, you're watching the replay, let me know. And I truly, once again, appreciate everyone that joins the live, everyone that watches the replay. It's such a privilege to share this 1 hour with you, and it's such an honor to hear from you, from you telling me where you're from, telling me the things that you hear that make sense to you as I talk. Asking questions is such a privilege, it's such an honor. So please, as you join, go ahead. Even if you're watching the replay and questions come to mind, go ahead and put those questions in the comments. I will see them. If it's a comment you just want to appreciate or you want to contribute, go ahead. Whether the live, the replay, go ahead. I will see the comments and I will respond to each and every one of them. So welcome once again. If you're here live, thank you for joining me. I can see some, I don't know if it's my network, but once I see some figures, they run away, they come back. So I don't know if it's my network or truly the people are joining and leaving. But whatever is happening, I know that you're hearing me, and I know that you will receive value from this discussion today. So I was doing the recap. Session 83, we talked about, an introduction to change management. What is this change management we want to look at? And we agreed that it's a structured approach to help individuals, to help teams, to help organizations transition from their current state, from where they are right now to a desired future state. Now, this generally means that the change was thought about. Is not a spontaneous change. It's a change that, you sat down and you decided that in the next year, in the next 3 months, in the next 1 month, in the next 5 years, whatever it is, this is where I want to be. And then begin to implement the things that will get you to that desired state. But it could also help you when you understand the change management process, when you understand the strategies behind it. It can also help you when change comes suddenly. When change comes, unprepared, you did not prepare for a change, but it comes because you are, these strategies, you have learned them, you've understood them, you've begun to apply them. Even those sudden changes will not take you by surprise. You will not be completely lost as per what to do. So the change management process is a structured approach that helps individuals, teams, organizations to transition from where they are right now to where they want to be, their desired future state. That was basically what we talked about in session 83. In session 84, we talked about the types of change because you need to understand the types of change that you're going to be dealing with. And we saw that they're strategic, they're structural, there's technological, and they're cultural changes. These, go cut across, like I said, your individual life, your business, your career. You can always identify the change because definitely we know that change is constant. It's just about, I think the only thing you can say for certainty, there will always be change. There will always be change. So change is constant in this life. And you need to understand the types of changes that might come up so that you can better prepare for those changes. Okay, session 85, we talked about the change management process. We looked at a step-by-step guide of what that process looks like. And we said it's about planning, it's about communicating, it's about implementing and evaluating your plans, evaluating the change that you want to undertake, planning. What do you want to do? What is the vision? Think about it. Don't just jump into this new state that you want to achieve. Think about it, plan it. What is the vision? Why are we doing it? And all that. Communicate this change to stakeholders. Whoever needs to know about it so that you can achieve it should be made aware of it. Then implement. Go ahead and carry out that change and evaluate as you go. Don't just say, I've set it in motion, that is it. No, evaluate, as you go. Then session 86. Honestly, my voice is even sounding so weird to me. Even to me, I'm wondering how you're receiving this voice as it is. Okay, session 86. We talked about the role of leadership in change management. And we know that the leader is the critical person in leading any change. The leader could be you, the leader could be someone else. But whoever is leading the change, there are some things that they need to do. They need to be able to drive this change. They have to be the cheerleader. They have to be the one to motivate people. They have to inspire whatever team has been formed for this change. If it's just you, yourself, you have to be able to motivate yourself. You have to be able to drive yourself to be able to carry out this change. Create an environment that is comfortable, that enables this change to happen. And then be adaptable as a leader. Be adaptable. You can't lead change and be rigid. No. So you need to be adaptable. You need to be effective as a leader by ensuring that that change that you're even trying to implement is sustainable. It's not something that just happens and you're not able to replicate. You're not able to sustain it. Okay, sorry. Today, we are talking about developing a change management strategy, how to put that strategy in place, what it entails to have that change management strategy. We already said that is a plan. That change management is structure that helps you move from point A to your desired point B. So change management strategy is the plan, the actual plan you put in place to get you from that point A to point B. The actual plan you put in place to navigate the change, to lead you through that change, and to ensure that the change happens and happens effectively. All right. So that is what a change management strategy is. Please, as you join me, because this is quite important today, as you join, you will see a link to donate to Club 1040. Today is Giving Tuesday. Tuesday after Thanksgiving is Giving Tuesday all over the world, and we are encouraged to give to good causes. And I believe that Club 1040 is a good cause because they take this gospel to the unreached, to those that have not embraced the gospel. So as you come on and you see that link, please go ahead and donate to Club 1040. Then also, you will see the link. You should see all this once you connect to this live. You should see all of it, but if you don't, I will put them up in the comment section once I'm done. So also, sign up for our boot camp, our Emergent Leadership Boot Camp. 3 days boot camp. You will see the link to a Google form. Fill that form, and at the end, once you have submitted the form, you will see a link to join a WhatsApp group. Go ahead and join that group, because that is where you will get all the information about the boot camp starting on the 12th, from the 12th to the 14th of December. All right, so we're talking about developing a change management strategy. Okay. Now, the key components of this strategy, the key components of this plan that you will put in place to take you from point A to point B, to take you from where you are to where you desire to be, are: one, define the vision and objectives. I think I spoke about this I can't remember whether it's the second session in this series, but you need to clearly articulate the purpose of the change. Why are you undergoing this change? Why do you want to move from point A to point B? Why not stay at point A? What is the underlying factors? What is the purpose of moving from point A to point B? And I think I reiterated this that day, that because we find it difficult to interrogate our thoughts and our actions, we usually don't take time to define the vision, to define the objective of the change we are trying to, take part in. And when we don't define this vision properly, we generally jump into the change, and many a times it doesn't achieve its intended purpose. Well, because we really don't know the purpose. We never sat down to understand why. And also, when you don't sit down to define this vision and the objective, the possibility of becoming demotivated is high, as in high. Motivation is not assured anyone. But when you know the vision, when you know the objectives of the change you're trying to embark on, when you understand it, when you have interrogated it, when you have thought it through, when you have, asked yourself the whys of it, and you have seen the clear vision of what you want to achieve, It's easier to be to remain motivated. Let me not even say to be. It's easier to remain motivated through the whole process and not give up. But when this vision is not clear, when there's no clear understanding of the whys, it's easy to be demotivated and maybe abandon the process halfway. Or even if you do carry it out, it doesn't quite hit the mark. Okay, so generally, like I said, this step in the strategy is for you to identify the whys. Why are you embarking on this? As an organization, as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, as a person, you say, okay, every year, many of us do this. We have our New Year's resolution. Now, that is a change that you need to have a strategy to achieve. That is why many of us don't achieve our New Year's resolution, because we just call it a resolution, we put it down somewhere, and that is it. We never put any structure to it. And because we did not put any structure to it, we don't achieve it. So take your New Year's resolution. Why? Why do you want to lose weight? Why do you want to learn a new skill? Why do you want to start a new job? Why do you want to change careers? Why? What is the reason behind it? Why is the purpose this change is going to achieve in your life? Why? Why are you embarking on it? Why do you think you need to change where you are? What about your current position or your current state? What about it needs to be changed? Why does it need to be changed? So the first part of a change management strategy is to define that vision. Define it. Know why you're doing it. What is the target? What is the objective? Why do I even need this? Why do I need to achieve this? How does this even align to my personal values? How does this thing I want to do align to my aspirations? How does this thing I want to do align to my company objectives? When you do this, then truly it becomes easier for you to track the change. And going back to the New Year's resolution thing, this is a way to ensure that your New Year's resolution is met by the end of the year and that you don't abandon it by the end of January, which is what a lot of us do. By the end of January, we've abandoned every New Year's resolution and moved on with our lives. So please, sit down and articulate the purpose of the change, articulate the whys, identify the why behind this change you're trying to embark on. Ensure that it aligns with your personal values, ensure that it aligns with your aspirations, ensure that it aligns with the objectives and the goals of your company, of your organization, of your business. For a business person, you want to increase sales. You want your sales to move from 10,000 to 100,000. Why? Is it just that you need extra money? Why? Really take time to interrogate this change. Take time to understand the why. This is very important. Honestly, even if I don't move on from here, and this is all I'm able to talk about today, it is fine, because it is that important. And this is where many of us miss it. Identify the why behind it and ensure that it aligns with your personal values. Because when your change, or when your goal, when your target, when your objectives do not align with your personal values and aspirations, do not align with your business values and aspirations, most times you will not be able to give it the attention that it requires, and most times it falters. Because why it falters is, okay, my personal goals and aspirations are here on this side. And I now decide to embark on a change, and that change is on this side. Your personal values, your aspirations is what drives you, is basically who you are. When the change you want to embark on, when the things you want to achieve, the targets you're now setting for yourself, they're on the other side. It is more difficult for you to achieve them because they are going against the grain. They're going against the grain. So ensure that these things match. Ensure that they align from the onset, from the beginning. When you do this, another thing, another benefit, let me call it, that comes from aligning this change that you want to achieve with your personal values, aspirations, or with your business values and aspirations, is that, will I say, will I say it's easier to achieve? You're more motivated to achieve them because there's alignment. And even in just being you, in just doing life normal, you would be heading towards achieving that goal or that objective. But when it's polar opposite of your values, of your aspirations, you know that because it's polar opposite, you have to struggle. You're going against the grain in order to achieve it. So it's always good to align it to your personal values, your aspirations, your business values, your business objectives, your business. Is good to align them. It is easier to achieve when they're aligned. It really is. Okay, so that is point one in crafting your change management strategy. Define the vision. And I don't know which session I spoke about this. In defining this vision, ensure that, so when I say you've been there, it's not quite that you have walked it physically. Because, okay, you want to change career. Of course, you have not been there physically, but be there here. Be able to envision that place you're trying to get to. Be able to envision that goal you're trying to achieve. See it in your mind's eye. Be able to see it. Is that seeing that will be what will keep you going? And once again, it works better when it aligns with your personal values and aspirations. So it means that as much as possible, we should not embark on a change process that goes against our personal values and aspirations. As much as possible, because it helps us achieve them easier and faster and in more effective manner. So let them align with your personal values and your aspirations. Okay, so now you have defined the vision, you've taken time, you've asked the whys, you have identified the whys behind the change that you want to embark on. You've thought of, how do I achieve it? You've aligned it to your personal values, you've aligned it to your aspirations. The next thing you need to do is what is called a readiness assessment. Once again, most of us, including myself, don't bother with this aspect of it. We just don't bother. Okay, I've identified it. Let's go. But we need to conduct what is called a readiness assessment. And this is basically looking at the space where you are, the position where you are, your current state, and then ascertain whether you are ready for this change. Identify potential barriers that might be in the way of you achieving this thing that you want to do, but evaluate your current state, where you are right now. Am I ready where I am right now to achieve this goal, to carry out this change? Am I truly ready? Am I ready mentally? Am I ready with the resources? Am I ready with the tools that I need? Ascertain your readiness. It does not mean that you will have everything in place. Ascertaining your readiness is not even that you have everything you need, but at least you know everything you need. If you don't have it, at least you know it. You're able to say, this is what I need, even if it's not available right now. You're able to say, this is it. So consider, if it's a personal change that you're embarking on, consider your mindset. Is your mind in the place that is needed to achieve this change? Consider your available resources. Do you have all it takes? Even if you don't have it now, do you have the ability to get all it takes? Do you even know what all it takes means? Do you even know what it is? Then, what are the possible obstacles? What are the possible challenges that you would meet on the way? The good thing about identifying challenges, identifying obstacles, is not you being faithless. No, it's you preparing for those. They might not come. The challenges you envision might never come. The obstacles you identified, they might not show up. But even if they show up, you're ready. Even if they show up, you're ready. In a company or in an organization or in your business, it means considering, okay, I want to, for example, be more customer focused. How will my employees take it? How will they adapt to this change? That is part of the readiness assessment you need to do. How will they take it? What will be their, thoughts? What will be their sentiments with regards to this change? What is my current culture in my organization? How do we do things now? How will this change affect how we do things? Are we ready as a group, a team, a unit? Are we ready to change this culture? If that's what it takes, then of course, do we have the resources available for this? If we don't have it, do we have a plan to have it? Do we know the resources we need? And then what are the potential barriers that might show up? You know that one of the potential barriers to change for an organization are the people. The people in the organization, the people you're trying to change something that they are doing. They're one of the biggest barriers. Have you identified that? Do you have a plan to overcome that? So ensure that you do a readiness assessment. How ready are you to carry out this change? How ready are you? Okay, for usually when people come on and I see it, I welcome them, but today I've not seen. So I'm wondering if it's my network or it's Facebook or what. But like I said, I keep seeing numbers pop up and go off. So I don't know what's happening today. 1 minute I'm seeing 4, 5, 3, 2, 1, nobody. So I really don't know what's happening today. I want to believe that we are hearing me, because when I logged on my laptop, I could hear myself. So I believe that I'm audible, and I believe that we are hearing. And most times I really don't bother about this also, because many a time, by the time the live session finishes, when it has ended, and when I go back to look at it so that I can download and upload to YouTube, I'll see 90 views, 80 views. So I'm good. I'm good, because obviously people are there. But something is making it, oh, okay. Oh, you see, I didn't even see when Coach Ify came on, and usually it will show me such and such a person is watching. I didn't see anything like that, but from her comment, I can see that she's here. So welcome, Coach Ify. I'm glad that you're here with me today. Oh, okay, very clear. That's good. All right. So thank you for confirming that for me. I was talking about conducting a readiness assessment, knowing how ready you are for the change you want to embark on, assessing how ready you are, ensuring you have the available resources, or if you don't have them, at least you know what you need and you know how to get it. And then considering all the possible obstacles, the possible challenges that might be in the way as you proceed on this change initiative. Okay, that is stage 2 of your change management strategy. Component 3 of your change management strategies, you need to identify the stakeholders. You need to identify the stakeholders. You need to recognize the individuals. You need to recognize the groups that will affect or will be affected by the change. And not just to identify them, but involve them as appropriate. Involve them. So identify, recognize the individuals, recognize the groups, recognize everybody, the stakeholders that will be affected by this change. Identify them and involve them. Involve them. For an organization, a business, some of your stakeholders could be your employees. Definitely, your employees are stakeholders. Your customers, the people that you sell to, they are stakeholders. Investors, people that have put in their money into your business, they are stakeholders. Suppliers, people that give you whatever it is that you sell, they are stakeholders. And they need to be informed of the change, and they need to be brought in to an extent to this process. So identify them. When you miss some stakeholders and you embark on a change initiative, because you did not consider those stakeholders, the possibility of the change going off well on their own end is almost zero. Okay, let me give us a personal example. I want to lose weight. Excuse me, sorry, like I told us when I started. I had a very late night yesterday. I went for a Maverick City concert and I came back quite late. So I'm working on very few hours of sleep right now. I am, um, how do they say it? Working on fumes? Is that it? I think something like that. Okay, so and that's why my voice is sounding the way it's sounding right now. I shouted, I sang, I had a good time. So bear with me today. So I was talking about identifying the stakeholders. You need to recognize the individuals, the groups, the people that will be affected by this change. I was given an example of I want to embark on a weight loss journey. Now, the stakeholders in this journey are the people who are living in my house, my husband, my children, if I have children, who will be affected by this journey I'm about to embark on. They're the stakeholders in it. Maybe I want to, as part of that weight loss journey, I want to start going to the gym. The gym where I'm going to be going is a stakeholder in this enterprise. Is a stakeholder. The coach that will coach me, if you're involving a coach, is a stakeholder. Identify them. And for example, you did not discuss this weight loss journey properly with your husband, and you embark on the journey. And you know that part of the weight loss journey is, tweaking your diet. So, and you're someone that you eat with your husband, how do you do it if you don't involve him, if you don't get his buy-in? It will be difficult. It will not be impossible, but it will be difficult. And most times you will go back on your resolve, excuse me, to eat right and what have you, because you did not identify your stakeholder and you did not involve your stakeholder in the decision. So it is important to identify those who will influence, those who will support this your change that you're embarking on. Identify them. Identify them and identify them early and begin to engage and build trust. Begin to gather input from your stakeholders. Going back to our weight loss example, you've discussed with your husband that, I need to live healthier. So I'm going to embark on a weight loss journey, which means I'm going to adjust my diet. He could, say, oh, no problem. Okay, so usually we eat swallow 3 times a day. Sorry, a week. we take swallow 3 times a week. Okay, let's do it only twice or something. He can give you some inputs that will help your journey. So he can influence this your change. Because if he insists on, no, I have to have my gari, my swallow 3 times a week, I must have it, and you have to eat with me. Have you seen? You see where the problem is. But if you engage him from the beginning early, and he still insists on having the gari 3 times or the swallow 3 times a week, you can have a plan because you engaged him early and you got his input. You can adjust to still sit with him at the 3 times that he's taking the swallow, but you take only soup. But you've told him, so he's aware. He has given you his input, and based on that input, you have adjusted and tweaked your plan. So this is why it's important to identify stakeholders and identify them early. Build trust for a company, for a business. Identify your stakeholders. What was the example I've been giving since? Okay, you want to be more customer facing, more customer centric in your business. Of course, your customers are your stakeholders, your employees, the people that work for you, your sales girl, your cashier, whoever, they are stakeholders in this. Your family, they are stakeholders. So take the time to engage. First of all, identify them. Be sure that you have identified every single person that will be influenced or affected by this change, or that can influence the change you're embarking on. Identify them and then engage them early. Bring them in the process. Let them know this is what we're about to do. This is the route we are going to take. This is the end point we're trying to get to. Then take their inputs. With their inputs, you can tweak your plan. With their inputs, you will improve your plan. So ensure that you engage early. That way you build trust, and then you can gather inputs that will help you refine and tweak your plan. Okay, that is component 3 of the change management strategy. Component 4 is to develop a communication plan. How do you pass across this change to people? How do you tell them about it? How do you communicate the things that needs to be done? How do you pass it across? How does information get shared? How much information do I share with who? Work out your communication plan. Then, because this will help you build trust when you work out the communication plan and you know what to say to who, how much information to give to who, at what point in time. Definitely, it will build trust. It will ensure that you are transparent with the people that are invested in or affected by your change. So develop a communication plan, tailor it to the different stakeholders, because what you need to tell your employees is not the same thing you need to tell your suppliers. It's not the same information they need. So tailor the communication of your change strategy Tailor the communication to the stakeholder and then pass it across to them. Ensure that you do communicate as often as is required. How much to or how often to communicate is different for each stakeholder, different for each company, different for each situation, different for each strategy you are embarking on. Well, you do need to sit down and figure out this. You need to figure these out. How much to communicate, how often to communicate. Communicating is not an if thing. You will communicate. You just need to figure out how much information to give out, how frequent should that information be given out. That is basically what the communication plan deals with, because you have to communicate. Is a given. Is a given. Okay. For your personal change that you're trying to go through, share your goals with somebody that is trusted. What is this thing you're trying to do? And ensure that is someone that will help you, that can be like a support system to you. But develop a plan to communicate. If we go back to like our weight loss example, have someone that you communicate to me every week, maybe every 2 weeks, to give them your progress report, the update of where you are, how far you are from your goal, from your target, and whether you need to change or tweak a few things. So develop that plan, have it in place, and implement it. The next component of your strategy, of your change management strategy, is to have a training or a support framework. If we don't have the required knowledge or the required tools for the change we're trying to implement, generally we hit a roadblock and it falters. So create a system of training and support. Create a system where you gain knowledge, where you are taught, where you receive information about this process, information about every aspect of the process that you're about to go into. So develop that system that provides you with the knowledge, that provides you with the tools that you need to adopt, ensuring that this change goes on successfully. Going back to our weight loss example, learn how different foods affect your body. Learn how different foods can be combined. Learn how to monitor or how to calculate your calorie deficit and things like that. Learn which foods are truly healthy and the ones that are not so healthy. Learn the quantities of what foods you should eat. If possible, learn when to eat certain foods. The more information you have, the better for you. In your business, whatever change you're trying to implement in your business, learn about it, understand the various aspects of that change. Do the trainings that you need in order to understand it, in order to go through it. Do the necessary trainings. Have a system of support. Whether in an organization, personally, have a system of support. It will help you ensure that you do carry out the change effectively. The next component of the change management strategy is to have a risk management plan. Have a risk management plan. Now, this means that you identify the potential obstacles and then the strategies you have in place to mitigate those obstacles, those challenges. That is what a risk management plan is. Sometimes when we hear some of these things, it sounds so big and so How do I begin to develop a risk management plan? Simple. Identify the potential obstacles, identify the potential challenges, then devise strategies to mitigate them. That is it. That is it. Anticipate resistance. What could be the resistance that I would meet along the way in this change that I'm trying to embark on? What resources might be a challenge? What resources might I experience a shortage in? What things could cause timeline delays? These are the things. Identify them. Then what is your strategy to mitigate them, to reduce their effect on your progress? How do you intend to reduce the effect of the resistance, the effect of the resource shortage, the effect of the delays in time? How do you intend to mitigate them so that their effect is reduced? Most times we cannot eliminate risk. Most times we can't completely eliminate risk, but we can mitigate, we can reduce the effect on the process. And that is what you do when you're developing a risk management plan. You're basically identifying the possible risks, the possible challenges, the possible pitfalls, the possible resistances that may exist. Then how do I mitigate it? What do I do to mitigate it? What habits, what circumstances could hinder my progress? Then create a contingency plan for it. Okay, let me go back to our weight loss journey. You're going on a weight loss journey. You know that along the way, somebody will invite you for a party. Somebody will invite you for a wedding. What is your plan? That is a challenge to your weight loss journey. It is because you've developed a healthy eating plan. And there are some things you have either eliminated, even though I don't really believe in eliminating things from the diet, but I believe in reducing some things in our diet. But let's say, even if you've agreed to reduce it, you've agreed to reduce some certain things. Now, the people who are catering for this wedding will not have your weight loss plan. They will not have your meal plan. They do not, and they will not. And even if they have your meal plan, they're not going to prepare for you specially. They have a whole occasion to cater to. So, what is your plan as you go on this journey to healthy living? What is your plan from when such situations arise, when you have to go to that party, when you have to go for that wedding, when you have to go to a friend's house for one thing or the other? What is the plan? What do you intend to do so that you don't totally ruin or set yourself back so much in your journey to living healthy? So what is the plan? What is the plan? So identify it. Identify the resistance, the possible resource shortages, the timeline delays that may exist, the habits, the circumstances that could hinder your progress, and then create contingencies to deal with them. That is a risk management plan. I'm sure we've been hearing risk management plan in the corporate, setting, and we're like, what is all this? This is it. There's nothing else to it. So develop a risk management plan. Identify the obstacles that may be in the way to you achieving this your goal, and then how do you mitigate them? How do you reduce their effect on your target, on your objective? The next component is to implement in phases. You must not, implement the whole plan at once. Do it in phases. It is much, much easier to manage when you implement your change strategy in phases. Break it into manageable stages. This way, the adoption is smoother. There's flexibility in the implementation. Break them into smaller parts. It's so much easier To say, for example, bear with me once again. It's so much easier to say, for example, um, I will cut my, let's say, eat meals. If I used to eat like 1 cup of rice as a serving, let me reduce it to half cup than to say I'm going to cut off rice from my diet. It's so much easier to do. I will reduce it in half first and I begin to eat half a cup of rice each time I take rice. From the half a cup, you can reduce it to 1/4 cup and replace, if you do, I'm going to stop taking 1 cup of rice. I'm now going to take half a cup of rice, then replace the other half with vegetables or protein. It's so much easier to achieve this than to say I'm going to cut off rice from my diet completely. So you have broken it into smaller, more achievable tasks. And those ones are so much easier to win. So much easier. So much easier. And when you win, in those smaller tasks, it builds momentum, it builds motivation. You're like, oh, I did this. I can do this. I've, cut my carbohydrate intake into half. I can cut it in half again. But if you just say, I cut off all carbohydrates, very difficult to achieve and maintain. Okay, so break the change into manageable stages. For an organization, a company, or a business, maybe do like a pilot test program first. Don't just do a full out, rollout of whatever change you're trying to introduce. Do like a test program, a pilot program. Start that way. Start small, and then build on the small. Add more to it. Add more to it, and then you would have your full plan rolled out in time. Okay, I think this is the last component of your change management strategy is monitor and evaluate your progress. Always monitor, always evaluate. Don't ever make a plan and leave it like that and wait till the end to see what happens. No. Have regular, if I have continuous assessment of your plans, have a continuous assessment of your strategies. Make necessary adjustments as you go. It is more effective and you achieve a whole lot more that way than when you just, plow into the plan and wait till the end. As you go, evaluate. As you go, monitor. As you go, adjust where necessary. Amend where necessary. Like from the beginning, we have said that change is constant. So even in this change you're embarking on, change will still happen in the midst of it. Change will still happen. So ensure that you're constantly monitoring and you're evaluating your progress. Check on have monthly, weekly, bi-weekly, whatever times where you assess how far you have come and then know how to move on from there. Okay. All right. So that is the last component of our change management strategy. That is the very last component of it. And with that, I've come to the end of today's session. Remember that your change management strategy is like your roadmap. And it's with this roadmap, you're going to navigate this change. You're going to navigate this transition. You're going to navigate this process of moving from point A to point B, where you want to be. And this strategy starts off with you defining the vision. Make it clear. Even the Bible tells us, put the vision down, write it down, make it plain. Write it down. have the full vision, know your whys. Why am I getting into this? Why am I doing this really? Understand the whys of it. Then think of the potential, barriers that you might encounter. Look for mitigation strategies. Consider how you communicate, when you communicate, how much you communicate, your strategy. Identify your stakeholders. Know the people that will be influenced or that will influence the people that will be affected by your change. Identify them, bring them in early, identify them early, bring them in as much as possible, let them know what is happening. And by the time you do these things, I've talked about the risk management. That's identify the barriers and look for mitigation strategy, what to reduce the effect of the change, of the challenges, or the barriers on your process, on your goal. When you do these things, you would have crafted an effective change management strategy. And of course, with this, it's so much easier. Truly, it's so much easier to achieve your goal at the end of the day. So thank you all once again for joining me this afternoon. I'm so glad that you came. Remember a couple of things. One, there should be showing on the screen for you a link. Today is Giving Tuesday. There should be showing a link to donate to Club 1040. Or if it's not showing, in the comments, I'll put it up again. Please donate to that initiative. Today is Giving Tuesday. It's a day that we give to charities, a day we give to causes that we appreciate, causes that we believe in. I totally believe in Club 1040. They take the gospel to the unreached. Yeah. So please do donate. The link should be showing. If it's not, immediately after this, I will repost the link to register for our Emergent Leadership Boot Camp. If you have not, register today. The link should also be showing. If not, I will still repost it in the comments at the end of this live session. Endeavor to register. You will not regret it. You will not. Okay, I'm seeing the donate, so at least that one is showing. I'm very sure of it. So please register for that boot camp, 3-day boot camp from the 12th to the 14th of December. The Google form link is, I'll put it up again. It's supposed to be showing. I don't know if it's showing. So I'll put it up again. Register. Then once you've submitted on that page, that thank you page that shows once you have submitted the form, there is a link to join a WhatsApp group. Ensure you join, or you click on that link and join the WhatsApp group. Is on that group you will get all the information that you need for the boot camp. Remember, it's starting on the 12th, so we're just about to start. Ensure that you're part of that boot camp. And as always, remember to make today and every day count. Be valuable in all you do and ensure that you're growing. Don't do life and you're not growing. Don't let any day pass and you're not growing. So ensure that you're growing. Follow us on all our social media handles: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Follow us, Growth Habits with Ngozi. We are there. Follow us there. And also my personal Facebook page, Ngozi Onwucholoba, my Instagram page, Ngozi Ka. Follow me everywhere. LinkedIn, I'm right there, Ngozi Onwucholoba. Okay, in LinkedIn is my full name, Ngozi Chukwuka Onwucholoba. So follow me on all my social media handles. And thank you once again for joining me today on Growth Habits with Ngozi. I am sure that you got some kind of value from today's session. Leave me a comment, leave me a question, whatever, anything. Just in the comment section. Please drop it there. I will see it. I will respond. And thank you once again for joining me. See you next week, Tuesday. 12 noon is the time, Nigerian time, 12 noon. See you and do have an awesome day. Bye.